Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every damn dirty minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. This is Todd. I've got Richard and Sean sitting across from me. Hello, Richard and Sean.
Hello.
Hello, this is the non-between minutes.
I kind of wish that y'all were sitting behind me instead of, it's like behind.
Well, so we can reenact. I see a little silhouette of a man.
Gotta move.
Gotta move. Gonna do the fandango.
We're going to turn this into
some
one.
lights up behind us and dark in the background.
You know what? I think we turned this into the musical minutes. I like that. All right, Sean, tell us what's going on in Minute 88.
We're starting Minute 88 with Cornelius saying to get their provisions in the wagon, and it ends with Cornelius looking shifty. And as of Minute 88, we've got our 2 living humans, our 2 poor dead Dodge and Stewarts, our shootiness of apes, and a gaggle of humans. We get some more of the really shitty scarecrows of the bad Michael's faux fur on it.
So Cornelius says, let's put the water and the provisions in the wagon. And then we kind of see him kind of move some stuff. And then we immediately get a shot to the scarecrows, right? That's where we kind of cut to.
Why do we go back to that? It immediately tells us once again we're back.
That we're going back again.
Right, we're going back to the forbidden zone.
That we're back into unknown area. Exactly.
Area.
You know what? We had the in-between this, and it was the Ariana Grande.
The very Ariana Grande.
So
Ariana Grande.
Let me pull this back just a little bit because the script that I found that has, it's largely intact with some stuff that appears to have been cut. So I'm curious if they've actually filmed these. So there's a moment where before they get on the horses to ride off, where Zira has a conversation with Taylor, and he's talking about Nova, or she's talking about Nova, and Zira says, indicating Nova, "Are you going to take her with you?" And Taylor says, "Yes." And Zira says, "Actually, you're a different breed. This creature will never evolve."
Wait, was that in the script?
It's in the script that I have.
Okay.
Taylor says, "Maybe not." And Zira says, smiling, "You want her that much." Taylor testily, "You threw us together, remember? And you guessed right. Men, like apes, get despondent without a mate."
I really thought you were going to say that men like women that don't speak.
And then he walks off.
What the shit?
I wonder if they filmed that.
No, I don't know, but she is basically mentioning that. So Zira's comment. It sounds creepy when I think about your
sounds
want
creepy
for a
when
monkey,
you just say it because it's creepy.
Man.
My want for that is not my want for my friend.
The Zira Taylor love.
It is completely subtext. It is all over the place with the hey.
It's called subtext, but it's actually called text because it's written across her face. He wants to.
Zira, is that what you're saying?
But that's just kind of interesting. She goes, "Actually, you're a different kind of breed. This creature will never evolve." So she's recognizing the difference between Taylor and Zira, or Taylor and Nova. And then she smiles. "You want her that much?"
Ugh.
And I always pictures that creepy thing.
I know.
And then Taylor's like, "Hey, you threw us together, lady. That's why
you created our love. Back in that summer, there were lots of women, and you created the love."
But it's just kind of that whole
gross.
Yeah.
See, once again, you can prod me over my want for ape Taylor love. But she's jealous. She's jealous of Nova. She's bitching about it because why would she say y'all are of a different breed?
Okay, so in your...
Well, no, that'd be the equivalent of saying that I have a stupid dog and I have a smart dog, and so they are different breeds because but this one's smarter.
So
stupider.
Your comment last minute about... Or the 2 minutes before where they changed the pronoun from "we'll go this way" to "I'll go."
Yes.
Oh, no, "we'll try for it," "I'll try for it." Was that they took out the moment earlier where we're supposed to believe that Nova is pregnant.
Right.
So this might have been taken out for that exact same reason.
Okay, I can see that.
Right? "You were threw us together, remember, and you guessed right. Men like apes get despondent without a mate." And Taylor's specifically suggesting that they're mating, I guess.
Is there anything in this that we've talked about ad nauseum about the idea of the correlation to African Americans at that time? That if you had an intellectual African American as opposed to an uneducated one, you might hear a white person say, "You're black,
you're the good one. You're the good one, not the bad one."
Yeah, are they trying anything in that, or is it simply to explain away?
I don't know. I mean, if I really were a behavioralist like Zero claims to be, I'd be like, I want to meet this baby. Maybe this baby can actually talk.
That's what I thought too. Because also, if you're going to breed the mute with the intellectual,
right?
Is there not a chance the DNA goes together? And
we've tried everything to try and get them to talk. When she said earlier, we've tried everything. To
suddenly we have like Jeopardy Kings there on Planet of the Apes.
I mean, think of, like we don't have bad breeds of dogs and good breeds of dogs. We have a bad dog and a
you
good
are
dog.
Obsessed.
Well, you brought it up.
Okay,
so in the in-between minutes, we'll talk about more dog breeds after this. But let's get back to the movie.
We can only have in between every once in a while.
This whole thing is 20 seconds of shots of panning from the scarecrows to the convoy. Then it's just like this whole scene is three shots over a minute. So.
And once again, it's them moving at that incredibly leisurely pace. They're people trying to get away. They're afraid of the what? I'm sorry. What kind of police did they call them?
The mounted police.
Mounted police. They have the Mounties coming after them.
But they are not rushing at all.
Well, they said they wouldn't go to this area. They said we're. I mean,
I still move.
Zero said that they. Zero said that they're not.
The police aren't going to show up. I believe you. Let's go.
I've seen enough movies, and if someone tells me the police aren't coming, they're coming.
All right. So, but how long do we think this is? They're taking a very long moment to establish that they're going very, very far, in the same way they did when the astronauts crossed.
Well, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because there's been no color change, so I'm going to say it's been a day, just a day.
To me, it's the same day.
Oh,
yeah.
There've been no. So? I think that's why they keep showing the shot. I think that's why they keep establishing different shots. There's this. There. Okay, so. After we pass by the scarecrows, and then we kind of go to this plateau and see them kind of moving along this valley, and we establish that there are
the scarecrows.
There are 3 horses. No, there are 2 horses in front being led by Lucius and Cornelius. There is the wagon with the 2 horses and
Zaius.
Zero. Sorry, on the wagon is Taylor and.
And is Zira riding side saddle?
And Zira is in the back.
Like it.
That I did notice. But there's this moment where you can't even see here. They cut for a second where they come from the skyline and come down.
Right.
And I kind of wondered if that was to establish that more time has passed.
See,
what I expect such confusing things on time in this movie.
And what I expect in a film like that, you look at any great Western where you're going to go across these vistas. What you do is it's a shot of them riding. It's a shot of them. Riding with mountains behind it. It's a shot of them riding across water. It's a shot of them stopped at night. It's
or sun coming up or sun coming down.
You do something where the vistas change, the sun changes, and then it shows that. There's none of that here, and that's what made me believe.
Which they didn't do
the same day.
The very first of the movie too. We were so confused on how long they were.
Yeah, the only thing you had was that weird negative matte shot where the lightning came in, and that was really the only thing that showed the passage of time. Outside of the fact that they started tossing off their metal backpacks, to say the provisions were done.
So I'm assuming it's been a day. Still the same, 24 hours. Maybe it's the tail. Maybe it's the 26th, 27th hour. They're in the next day. I don't know.
But to be fair to Richard's point, if it took 3 days for Taylor, Taylor went by foot.
They weren't on
and
horse.
Now, therefore, on horse, how long would it take you?
Fast,
and that's what I brought up in previous minutes. They were talking about it's 3 days to the Forbidden Zone. We don't know how big the Forbidden Zone is. So, I'm making.
And did he take the best path?
Yeah, I'm making spaces that you can't see here on the podcast. But let's assume it's this big, and he crashed right next to my finger. He crashed in the Forbidden Zone, and that might be a day walk over there versus you crash here and it's a 3-day walk. I don't know.
So we get a little bit more about the scarecrows here. I don't remember what you guys talked about the scarecrows. I wasn't part of the minutes when we first saw the scarecrows.
It just looks like bad pottery barn.
There's actually a moment with Lucius and Zira and Cornelius as they're riding the horses, and Lucius sees the scarecrows and he goes, "Who put them up?" And Zira says, "The Hunt Club."
What?
None of this was in there. Yeah.
The Hunt Club, is that like something that's the Polo brand knockoff at JCPenney's?
Well, I don't know, but that would explain.
It only had 3 legs showing instead of 4.
That would explain why they have pelts on them.
Okay. Yeah.
Pelts of unknown. What are they? Pelts of animals? Pelts of gorillas? Pelts of humans?
Maybe they hunted stuff down and put that
right.
Up there
Exactly. So the Hunt Club.
Or once again, it was Ramsey Bolton.
Lucius asks if it's to scare off the humans, and Cornelius adds, "Probably to scare us off too. We're entering the Forbidden Zone."
See, that's interesting.
So for me,
so much of this is just them writing and nothing happens. That would be interesting to mark.
To throw things in there, because I would have seen the Forbidden Zone as Taylor coming in and he sees that stuff. So why am I walking into the place I'm coming into? Where potentially the crosses are set up to keep people from coming into the forbidden zone. I didn't see it that way.
No,
I saw it as, where am I going into this dangerous zone that has these crosses set up into it? I'm actually going into a forbidden zone instead of coming out of one.
Yeah.
But it was. I think that the scarecrows themselves, because it's kind of the image you see
I like it.
Are should be understood by the audience in this little bit of exposition.
I do too.
Is it really necessary? But I do like that Cornelius is adding that is prevent people from going both directions.
So when we have Dead Lake or Dead River or whatever it was, that is unnecessary. What's there in the script?
You think is more
that would have been
relevant?
Oh my God, that actually builds the lore of what it is, as opposed to just naming an unnamed, previously unnamed area.
Forbidden. We're going to. By the way, we're going to put crosses up with pelts on it to let you know you can't go past this point. Danger.
So you can
mine cart with a little, and those cartoons where you see like the
no hands up,
disappears.
No hands up above.
It's a sign that says what is it?
I mean, you can have the Forbidden Zone. You can have Dead Lake. You can have Plague Region.
You can have a Cancer Island.
It's how many different names, and I don't need any more. Forbidden Zone is enough. That's
Welcome
more
to
interesting.
Snotland.
Yeah.
Snotland.
So
enjoy your stay.
So another interesting thing that happens, because Taylor is totally misogynist.
Wait, Richard says that with a laugh. I'm a little scared of
Well, so this moment where they kind of talk, there is part of a pause, and Taylor and Nova are sitting in the back of the wagon, and Nova sees the scarecrows, and she kind of grabs Taylor's arm and whimpers, and Taylor says, "Don't worry, you'll be safe with me." And then he smiles at her and says, "Here, it's time you earned your keep."
Oh, gosh. Oh, no, please. Don't tell me what's next.
No, that's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Okay.
He hands the reins to her
Okay.
and says, "Here, you do it like this."
Wait. Are reins
and then she takes the reins.
Reins are not term for anything else.
I know.
Okay, just
Well, he
sure.
doesn't tell her that women can't drive at this point, does he?
Nova flicks the reins, reacting in wide-eyed, open-mouthed disbelief as the horse obeys her.
Okay,
What?
So reins are...
I know, but I rechecked the minute here. When they approach the little ravine, which is about where this minute ends, he's still using. He didn't give her the reins.
Everybody knows reins is euphemism for penis, so let's just get past
I know, but
What?
She takes the reins, the horses get excited. Come on.
Apparently she's already had the reins if she's pregnant.
Hey.
Exactly.
There
But
are a
time
couple.
you earned your keep.
There's a couple of production screw-ups here too. Did
Yeah.
you notice that Taylor driving the wagon drives over a shrub, and the whole
Exactly.
thing
I have that.
almost falls
No,
over?
I
You
didn't
get
notice
plowed
that.
over that plant while driving the cart. That's
He does.
exactly the...
And then if you look ahead of them, where the horses are going, there are already horse hoof marks in the sand,
Yeah.
meaning they've
So
already
they've
done the take
ridden
numerous
it
times.
once or twice.
So just like any golfer would hit a sand trap, will then take the rake and smooth
Cover
it
it
back
back
out
up,
for the
yeah.
next person.
They didn't
There's
do that.
somebody on the set who's supposed to run out. Apparently, he was off helping somebody eating the monkey makeup that day because he did not rake the sand because it's pretty apparent.
Yeah, it's the forbidden zone, but we're going to crush every plant we can find.
But I also assume that's because it's a very high angle shot, and they thought no one's going to
Nobody's
notice
that.
because to
Nobody's
Richard's
going to watch this movie 1 minute at a time.
well, and to Richard's point, at that time nobody had the ability to stick
watch
it
it
in
1
and
minute at a
watch it
time.
again and again. But as you watch it,
Right.
it's pretty apparent.
Yeah. Well, that was it from my notes.
This is
at the very end.
No, we actually come across the river, right? That's the start of the minute.
Well, I have my last note I had is, what is Cornelius going for? It looks like he's trying to hide something at the back of the car.
So they've stopped.
Yeah.
So basically, they've stopped, and we now see this kind of. There it is. Yeah. So the minute ends with them approaching what appears to be some type of river down in a cavern,
Like a ravine. Yeah.
ravine. Yeah, down in the depths, and it's got a interesting kind of U shape in which they can cross over
Very
this
unique look.
unique shape. But part of the sand has kind of worn away,
Fallen
so that
away.
you can kind of look down into
Yeah.
into the ravine to where this river is. And I found it just a really unique formation in and of itself. It says here,
It almost looks like a matte painting when you look
Yeah.
at it. But we'll talk about it in the next minute. I've got about what it is. It's
the
not a
note
map
the note
painting.
in here says Lake Powell location a few miles northeast of Wallheap. They've already scouted this out to know exactly visually.
Oh, they knew it
wanted.
in the script.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Lake Powell, location a few miles northeast of Wahheap.
yep. I've got some further stuff we'll share in the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we just come to a